as a country. We have scheduled those by-elections on 27th of this month, 27th November. And since we presented those elections, the Commission has undertaken extensive preparations to ensure that we have peaceful, free, fair, and credible by-elections in all the 16 wards, the 6 constituencies, and the one for senator for Baringo. So far, our teams have been on the ground. We have appointed the returning officers for those respective elections. We have trained the electoral officials on the work they are supposed to do. And we have prepared all the materials that are required for us to conduct and complete those elections successfully. So we are here to assure the nation that IEBC is committed to ensuring that those elections are conducted in a peaceful, free, fair, and transparent manner. And we would also like to assure the various political parties and their candidates, and indeed all the Kenyans who constitute the electorate, that all the candidates and their political parties are free to campaign peacefully anywhere within their jurisdictions. If the elections are being held in any constituency, all those participating are free and they have a right to conduct their political campaigns peacefully in the various constituencies where they are campaigning. If it is in a ward, all candidates have the right to campaign anywhere. But this is the right that when we cleared all political candidates to vie for the various seats, we requested the candidates to sit together and to harmonize their campaign schedules. The harmonization of campaign schedules, which was consultative and agreed and signed by the political parties and their candidates, must be adhered to strictly, because this avoids situations where the various political teams and candidates and their supporters clash along the way during their campaigns, as happened in the case of Kasika. So we urge all the candidates to ensure that they stick to the calendar of events, the days, the schedules, the venues, and the timing as per the agreed calendars. Secondly, we are calling upon those participating in these by-elections to ensure that they follow strictly the code of conduct on elections. The code of conduct was again signed by all political parties that are participating in these by-elections. The same code of conduct was also signed by the respective candidates who are participating in this by-election. And the code of conduct is not a mere suggestion. The code of conduct is binding and it is founded in law, the Elections Act, but more importantly, in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And it's the code of conduct that must guide the manner in which campaigns are conducted, the manner in which candidates conduct themselves, and the manner in which they mobilize their supporters, and in the manner in which the elections will be concluded. So any breaches of the code of conduct, of course, will attract penalties, will attract some form of punishment, including fines, and in severe cases, might force us to cancel or to disqualify those candidates who will be found to have breached the electoral code of conduct. Thirdly, we would like to emphasize that we are as IEBC, we cannot run the elections on our own without the support of all Kenyans. Kenyans of goodwill in those respective areas, conduct yourself in a peaceful manner, in a manner that is decent, in a manner that allows freedom of expression to all the candidates who are supporting the various political parties, so that then democracy is seen to thrive. the national level and at the county and the level of the respective constituencies and wards, we have partnered with the national institutions, including the National Police Service, to ensure they provide adequate security to all our electoral officials, but to all the candidates and the political parties that are engaged in the campaigns. More importantly, the National Police Service is here also to provide security to our materials as we move them to the various sites, as we deploy them to the various polling stations. The national security has played and is here to continue working with us to ensure that the elections are secured and that they are peaceful and successful. We have with us here the chairperson of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, Professor Samuel Kobia. As you know, National Cohesion and Integration Commission has a specific mandate which it speaks to, and we are very happy as IEBC that we've had consultations, we've had meetings with all these institutions to ensure that we work together and collaboratively and in partnership towards successful by-elections in this year. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to emphasize that these by-elections are very, very important to us as a nation, and more importantly to us as the new commission. We took office in July 11, 2025, and we took an oath, and we took a pledge, and we made a promise to Kenyans that this new commission will conduct peaceful, free, fair, credible, transparent, and verifiable elections. And this is the test for us. This by-election will be that acid test for this commission. And that's why we're doing everything possible to ensure that we complete this by-election successfully, and that requires that we work with the institutions of government, the National Police Service for security, and the National Cohesion and Integration Commission to ensure that we address challenges around hate speech and around the incitement to violence. Allow me, as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, to emphasize that the requirements for a violence-free election is a constitutional requirement under Article 81 of the Constitution. Article 81 speaks to the fact that elections in Kenya must be conducted free from violence, harassment, intimidation, and bribery. So we call upon all the participating parties in these by-elections to ensure that the elections are conducted peacefully, free from violence, harassment, or intimidation. And as a commission, I want to assure Kenyans that we have a range of tools to deploy and to use where necessary, where those candidates participating in these by-elections are found to be in breach of the Electoral Code of Conduct and in breach of the laws of the Republic of Kenya insofar as their conduct during elections are concerned. Speaking to the issue of Kasipul, we are aware and we have had reports and that there have been incidences of violence in Kasipul. We, as a commission, immediately we were notified of the situation in Kasipul. We dispatched our investigations team to the ground. They have concluded their investigations or the assessment of the situation, so to speak, and we have that report. And what we are doing as a commission, and again guided by the laws of Kenya, we have empaneled the Code of Conduct Enforcement Committee, which will commence its work on Monday, to summon those candidates in Kasipul and anybody who has information on what happened in Kasipul. They will conduct the hearing, and within the shortest time possible, will make determination on what needs to be done in as far as addressing the incidences in Kasipul are concerned. So, as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to condemn all acts of lawlessness and violence across all the areas where we are having elections, particularly in Kasipul. And I would urge all those participating to refrain from any acts that will undermine the integrity and the credibility of our electoral process. I thank you. I would now allow to invite the IG to also speak on the security aspects and what we are doing together to ensure that we secure the elections to make it successful.